So, so I'm going to begin with a few comments and then launch in, as I am wont, to my retrospective for the day. I wanted to provide just a point or two on some matters that relate to sort of resources available to you online. So it's been my intention to make sure that you folks on a daily basis have access to the full set of recordings from the previous day. And due to a confluence of factors, including network problems and, frankly, poor memory on my part, we're really behind on that, and I apologize for that. When I go home, I can't upload the videos effectively, and I've just finished uploading them to maybe the last one is still going to our video server, and I'm going to be going and adding them into YouTube, hopefully just prior to lunch, so that we can all get access to the videos to this point. And those will be videos through yesterday, okay? Through and including yesterday. I apologize for the delay there. I try to keep it up to date, but fell short in this regard. A second issue is that we're building a variety of models as part of this boot camp. And I try to make those models, as I've built them, available to people. And once again, I'm behind on that, but I do have copies of all the models. If you'd like them on an ad hoc basis, I'm perfectly glad to give them to you, but I'll try to get them up on the Google Drive site as soon as I can. It's a broad set of models now. People may have had specific questions about pieces of the model that you didn't quite catch, and by making it available, I'm hoping that it will be more useful to people. So we'll try to get those up in a special folder there that will be models as built in lecture, and so you can go through them. But please don't let these things get in the way of your learning, in the sense that if you're really interested in seeing a specific video, or you're interested in getting a hold of a particular model, just grab me during one of the breaks and tell me, and I can just give it to you on an ad hoc basis right then and there, and you can have it in hand. So please be advised about that. A second point I wanted to make regarding resources is relates to the group sessions, the group project sessions. Today we're going to be having a longer project session, and one of the key goals of these sessions is to make sure that you don't feel alone in your work. That's why we call it an incubator, to make sure there's that supportive environment. And so please, please, please grab people nearby to, in terms of TAs and myself. If you see them passing, even if they're talking with someone, just go and alert them that you'd like to have them look at something or what have you, and they'll try to balance the priorities. We want to make sure that needs, when they arise, are dealt with fairly quickly. And I'm aware that some of the groups have more of a kind of embedded TAs than others, and I'm going to be making a special effort today to be circulating among the groups that don't, to try to advance things materially. And I believe Kurt is in a similar sort of mode in his circulation. And I'd ask the other TAs, in as much as I like you working with one team, please do be responsive if you get ad hoc requests, okay? Please make a little bit of time for people on an as-needed basis, okay? Because we do want people to feel when an issue comes up, they can ask it right then and there rather than having to park it and ask it only 2 days later or something like that, okay? So that's about project work. We want to get somewhere during this week, and we want the TAs to grab it. By the same token, I'm going to be finishing up this morning with the final little elements of the AnyLogic modeling vocabulary. I'm not doing a truly exhaustive job. There's some neat little things here and there that I'm not going to have a chance to really get into, especially some subtle things like dynamic events, which are really powerful constructs, but where I have online material which details them for people who are interested in them, and I might give you a little bit of a flavor of them, but we'll have to refer you to that because of the strictures of time. But we're going to be finishing up this morning with the sort of core elements of vocabulary. And you folks have been patient and consistent in your dedication learning about this. Good stuff. But what that means is that subsequent lectures are going to have a lot of material that's supportive of the modeling project, but is less absolutely central to the sort of pieces out of which you build the model. Things like sensitivity analysis, things like calibration, things like best practices in modeling, and in the process side and the technical side. I want to encourage people who have project goals, who are really interested in reaching some endpoint with a TA or by working on their own with being able to grab a TA. Do feel free to make use of the rooms, the breakout rooms. Feel free to go off and you know, as we would say, tool on those things if you want to, and you know, instead of listening to lecture. If you feel that that would better meet your needs, you should feel free to do that. I would say after this morning, it gets less absolutely central to sort of how you build models. This morning, we're going to talk about some final components and linking in it with hybrid models, which for many of you are a potent motivation for use of this platform and indeed for being here. We're going to be building up a number of hybrid models jointly today. Okay? So, oh, thank you, Alex. So those are a few sort of preliminary comments related to the boot camp. Does anyone want to ask any questions that are sort of logistic related or raise any issues concerning projects or anything right now? Bearing in mind we're going to have a longer session this afternoon. Yeah, Vikram.
Is there some way when you go to YouTube to sort of see the videos in a chronological or some sort of order? Because when you go there are about 30 of them, and it's hard to figure out where to actually begin.
Right. Yes, there
some of them are for 6, some of them are for 7.
Yes, indeed. So I've tagged them in ways that would indicate their provenance in terms of that issue of sort of the version of AnyLogic. And let me just, if you don't mind, I'll just go to my channel here, and let's just see. Okay, this is my channel as I see it. I think you can see the playlists here, and what I would suggest is going, if you want to see a sort of comprehensive set of videos, fairly comprehensive, related to AnyLogic 7, I would suggest going to my previous boot camp, this NCSU UNC boot camp. These were given about 2 weeks ago, and with Priya-Esri helping out here, and these are not strictly chronologic, but they have, if they're not strict, they fall broadly in a chronological way. So if you were to go and look at these, you would find a lot of the material we've covered here systematically covered, for example, heterogeneity, right? Building interacting state charts. That's what we did. You know, some further details on that. Java and AnyLogic for those who were in yesterday's Java tutorial. Achieving unique agent IDs, what we did yesterday. Continuous aging, open populations, and what we're going to be going into today, mobility. Here's the dynamic event stuff. So I would say this would be my recommended set of materials. These are all AnyLogic 7 related, and as such, they would they'd speak most directly to the needs of you folks here. Does that make sense? And this is all health related. This is to a combination of folks from University of North Carolina, predominantly from Health Policy Administration and other areas in the School of Public Health, combined with some significant engineering folks from Industrial and Systems Engineering, okay? So it's kind of a very mixed audience, and I covered things in greater depth because there was no incubator component. It was just a boot camp. And so we went into a bunch of things like dynamic events I didn't have time for otherwise. Here's stuff on values and expressions, what I talked about yesterday too. So this would be a pretty good proxy until I have all the videos up and released for this boot camp. Yes.
What do you put in the search?
Oh, okay. So I would go to okay, this is going to sound most immodest. Okay, so I know how I get there, but I think you can actually. Okay, this is horrible. I feel horrible doing this to you, but it's the most abusive thing. But if you put in my name after YouTube.com/Nathaniel Osgood, and notice IEL. Various offices around campus have issues with that sometimes. So youtube.com/Nathaniel Osgood. Man, I feel embarrassed to be doing this. And you press enter. That will bring you to my playlist or to my channel. And you click on playlists here, and that gives you the list of playlists, and you can go there. Because yeah, it's easy to get lost. I think there's something like 1,200 videos right now, and so it's easy to get kind of lost with things. Lost in a maze of droning, of me droning on. Okay, so that's a good question. Now, beyond that, though, there's some amazing work being done by some of the people in the room right now. Where's Priyasri? Priyasri out here in the hallway will be coming in. Priyasri here in the back, together with Alex. Where's Alex? There he is, in the back there. They've created an amazing site to organize the cacophony of videos there. But not only organize the videos, to link the videos up so that videos can be linked with the models that they use, the exercises associated with them that are written down, the slides or the associated slides, and that allows you to sort of very quickly go from watching a video to see the exact model it's using, the model that it's actually being worked on there, so you can open it up and go in and look at it and modify it, etc. So they have a site which we'll be showing later in the session, which shows these different videos linked in with their resources. Secondly, they've taken a lot of the videos which are posted online, not all, but a very significant number, and they've basically broken it up into segments, which are each small and focused. So the idea is that there'll be a segment specifically on a certain task, and you can then find out exactly how to do that task without needing to watch the whole video. And then you can go from that little snippet back to the whole video. So you can kind of search for just the thing you want, and without watching me, go on and on and on and talk more broadly about something, you'll be able to zoom into just the piece you need. That's the goal, and that's what they're doing.
How do you access that?
That site, well, I'll have Priyasri and Alex there both do a little demo of it, because they'll show you around. And show how they've organized it into sessions. So the given boot camp will be organized into sessions, and you can kind of view it through this lens or that lens, and they'll show you how to walk through it. Okay? Well, we'll see if we can do that today or tomorrow. Okay? Any other questions? Okay. Great. So this is not the only resource around. There's other resources like the Big Book of Simulation Modeling, which I'd recommend. I'd recommend some of the tutorials that come with AnyLogic very much. And you know, just be aware there is a variety of resources out there. But I hope these offer value, and if you could figure out ways that my videos and the resources we offer might be able to offer more value, confer more ease to the modeling project process, please let me know. Okay? Okay, great. I guess I should mention along those lines one other thing. There is another resource, and I feel terrible telling you about this, but there's this tiny URL, ABM for Health. I released this link to you, but if you go to tiny URL, ABM for Health, let me do that again, just so you can see it, ABM for Health. This will get you to a page which is being phased out by Alex's and Priesri's system. It's going to be phased out, but this is a set of my lectures, Associate recommended AnyLogic 7, AnyLogic 6 version, alternative screencasts, and it has these things. It has tutorials, Java and AnyLogic. It has model presentations for particular models. It has topic tutorials and a variety of others. Now, one of the things that's notable here is, I think the link is up here, there's this example models page. There's this example health model inventory where I go through various models and I talk about what these models capture. For example, this one captures aspects of demographics, immigration, birth, death, family structure, pregnancy and delivery, statistics. So I have this kind of inventory of these different types of models and what they show. And some of them are models that are more demographic in character. Some are more healthcare focused. Some are more mechanism focused. So capturing sort of how mobility works, etc. These may be useful. Some cross, or what we call, what I think the NIH started to use the term through the skin model. So they capture immune dynamics within a person coupled with sort of spread of population outside of a person. So there's all these different types of models. Some are hybrid, some are regular, and they're up here. And it illustrates, you know, do they include stocks and flows? Do they include agent-based? Do they include discrete event modeling? And we're going to be seeing each of those woven together later today. Okay, so this example model inventory may be of interest, and over time it's going to be deprecated for the Ascendant Alex and Priesri site, which is coming online just now, which is going to have a more comprehensive sort of understanding of these different models. So that's a resource too. Is that helpful? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Question? Yes, Roman.
Are you do much on system dynamics, other than maybe showing some examples?
So my thought was today to spend a few minutes introducing each of system dynamics on the one hand and discrete event modeling, just so you can kind of situate yourself in it, you know, kind of some of their most salient features, and then to talk about some of the motivations for using each of them in agent-based modeling in different areas of a model and weaving them together in a single model, so you can kind of see how they're woven together. And we as a group are going to be building up some models that include a bit of system dynamics, a bit of agent-based modeling, or a bit of system dynamics and discrete event modeling. And we'll see how they can be woven together, and hopefully that will also give an intuition about why you might build certain components in one or the other, because you'll see how they fit to certain types of needs. Is that helpful? Yeah. Yeah, Ron.
Related to Robin's question, and I know you use Vensim a lot.
Vensim, yeah.
So, I mean, this one obviously has advantages when it's built in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any comment on if you were doing a standalone?
I could comment on Vensim a bit. So I actually have comments on modeling software trade-offs. So trade-offs between particular types of modeling software. So, for example, NetLogo, Sarah mentioned yesterday, right? There's also Repast, which is a very popular platform for agent-based modeling. There's also ModGen, which you know about, used to build Poem and LifePaths and so on. And Vensim is another platform for system dynamics modeling. I actually have some slides that relate to what I see as a pragmatic practitioner as sort of the trade-offs obtaining. So we have work that uses ModGen right now going on with the same models built across all these different agent-based modeling frameworks to be able to allow us to compare them. And I'm very pragmatic about it. I mean, there's some real trade-offs, and some of them don't favor AnyLogic, some do. So while I happen to test with AnyLogic for a set of reasons, I had in mind, giving a little bit of a spiel of maybe 20 minutes, half an hour on trade-offs between these platforms, and I have some slides for that. And if that's okay, my thought would be to sort of try to weave in the Vensim discussion into that. Okay, that's great. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, so with having done that, I think what we're going to do then is to do a little bit of a retrospective on what we saw yesterday, bearing in mind that I want to get your hands on the keyboard here in just a few minutes, okay? So